Hi, I'm Leanne Ely. I'm a nutritionist, a New York Times best-selling author, and some people even say I'm a life coach. I started the Daily Dish Show to share my story, my truth, and my journey to vibrancy, and to inspire others to do the same. Because it's all about grit, perseverance, and finding a way despite the odds. It's about embracing the whole woman, not just the parts that are easy to love, and feeding her heart, mind, body, and soul. But I found that this isn't just my story, it's your story too. It's go time. This is the Daily Dish.
Who feels high vibe right now? Pinkies up if you're just feeling it. I've been feeling it all weekend. And I'm going to tell you why. I'm going to tell you all the stuff. I had a really very, very positive weekend. I was exhausted. After casino and all of that, I mean, it was a lot of work, and I had things to do around here and this, that, and the other thing. But the amount of energy that I felt and everything was I just can't even believe it. It was just so incredible. So I told you I've been really checking out this whole TikTok situation, and I make it a point every day to watch it for a little while on a timer, by the way, because this is a vortex. It'll suck you in and suck out your brains. So we have to be careful. We have to guard our time. I think that's part of being high vibe. It's one thing to go explore something, but it's another thing entirely to be consumed by something, you know? We don't want that. We need to honor our time, value our time, and make sure that we're not just killing it and doing stupid stuff with it and going down a YouTube, spiral tube or TikTok or any of them, value our time. So last week, a couple of months ago, in my feed was this woman. I don't remember who she was. Otherwise, I would totally give her credit right now, but I don't remember who she was. And I tried to remember who she was so I could go back and rewatch the video. Can't find it, of course. And she said these two sentences that just absolutely lit me up. And I went, wow. And it was, I don't chase, I attract. What belongs to me will simply find me. Boom. And I thought about that. And that to me it's all about the vibration that we contain and hold. And I know vibration sounds super woo-woo, so I'm going to swap out the word. Maybe I'll say high vibe every once in a while, but really what we're talking about here is energy. And every single thing on the planet, from this Sharpie to my eyeballs, contain different levels of energy. Everything has some kind of an energetic level, and it's all measurable. Every single bit of it. Every single bit of it. So we have to look at energy then as something that is either attainable, something we can attract in, something that we are part of an energetic making of. Energy is something that every single person has, whether you know about it or not, whether you can feel it or not. And I'm going to show you how to feel your own energy here in just a minute. But the reason this little thing resonated with me is because in my life, I have noticed when I am chasing something hard and just really, I hope, I wish, and wouldn't it be great? I've always found everything to be so much harder and so exhausting and so, I don't know, whatever. And I think that the frustration level that comes with chasing after something versus just attracting it in, because knowing that you have that energetic level and you have the ability to attract in same types of energy is pretty intense. You think about it that way, but we are vibrational beings created with energy levels in us. And I'm going to show you how you can actually feel your own energy here in just a minute. And so we have to understand this. And we also need to understand that we get to choose our energy levels. Now, I've heard people say, "Oh, I'm just low energy. I'm just tired all the time. I'm just this, that, or the other thing." And what we're doing is we're affirming low energy. And maybe you are. I'm not going to argue with you that you are or you're not. But when we start speaking things, we are speaking power to whatever it is that we're feeling. And remember how, and we've talked about this before, how when we keep repeating stories that we've had and all the issues that we're dealing with in our homes, with relationships, with children, with whatever, but every time we do that, we are putting our energy and our focus into that, especially when it's a litany of complaints or it's terrible. And I've, once upon a time, I used to tell stories about my narcissistic ex-husband and his alcoholism and a lot of that stuff. And I've pulled back on that because I'm going to just let that be. You know why? It doesn't have one iota to do with my life anymore. It doesn't affect me anymore. And I'm not going to keep raising the dead. It's like something has died. You go and you bury it, and then you keep digging it up. It's like Uncle Bernie, or what was that? Cousin Bernie, or whatever that was. Remember when he died and they're dragging him around the beach and putting sunglasses on him and stuff? It was kind of a gross, weird movie, but I laughed. And I'm sure you did too. I just decided to wait.
I have no idea what happened, but we are still live. So I'm going to go away and let you keep talking.
Okay. Okay. Y'all, I just don't even know what. I'm so glad that didn't happen. I don't know what happened there. No, you're not the only one. We're all on. Okay, we're back. Yes. Hello. Anyway, where were we with that whole? Speaking of vibes, what's up, internet? It's actually it was the tech stuff from yeah, we're back. It was StreamYard just stopped working. I got a notification just said, well, sorry. Anyway, let's get back to this whole, I have no idea where I was, but let's go. Okay. When we understand that everything is energy, that we're energetic beings, and that we get to choose our energy levels, we recognize that this is the greatest gift that the Creator has gifted us with. Have you ever connected those dots? I have, and I'll tell you what a difference that is, because it's an acknowledgement of everything, because everything is energy. Everything. Oh, I was talking about digging up the past. Let's let that be buried, right? But listen, we feel different when we vibe on the level of understanding that we are connected to our Creator is connected to us, that we are connected to each other, and there's this divine synchronicity going on, and you can feel it. You can feel it, right? Higher energy, higher vibes, wherever you go, wherever you want to go, it can all be found in the food that we eat, in the words that we think, the words that we say, the way that we move, if we're sleeping enough, all of that stuff, you know that. Who we hang out with, what our environments are about even, right? It's everything. And even the way that we groove and move and get through our day. Are we parked on the couch? Are we moving around? Are we aware of our movement? All of this produces a vibration. It's energy in the making, or it's energy not being made. Do you see where I'm going with all of that? So I won't. I know that there's a video that we've shown you this before on YouTube, a YouTube video of a scientist showing you to understand exactly what vibration is all about. And they have this enormous plate, I guess a vibe plate, where they put sand all over this plate, right? And then as the frequency goes up, the sand patterns get more and more intricate. And I mean, they're beautiful. It's sort of like a basic snowflake versus a bigger, better, more incredible snowflake. Like you have to be a genius with those scissors to cut those out, right? That kind of a thing. And when you see that and connect the dots between low vibe and high vibe, we want the beauty of high vibe living. We want the intricacy of high vibe living. That doesn't mean complexity. It means the intricacy, the beauty, the detail of high vibe living. And that is, to me, that is just, it's everything. When you see that, you understand that, yes, energy is measurable. Energy changes the way things look, even. And you notice that, you've felt that. So when we're vibing, and most of us, we don't vibe in the high vibe place all the time. We go high and then maybe we'll go low, and sometimes we're just there in the middle. But awareness is the place that we have to go in order to understand what's my vibe? What am I about? What is it all about? And when we understand that, we can also understand that we can be the conduit for our own high vibe, for our own high energy. That's pretty exciting. So I have an exercise for you. I've already promised you this, and I've got these little holes in my thing, and I keep my hands, this keeps my hands nice and warm, and I love this, but taking it out to show you something, okay? So grab it, put your hands together, and I want you to do this with me. We're going to count to 10 slowly, and I want you to rub your hands as hard as you can. 1, 2, 3. Are you doing it? 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Pull them apart and hold them close. Tell me what you feel. Do you feel the energy? Do you feel that electricity? And it's almost pushing away from each other like magnets. You feel that? That's what I'm talking about. You just did that. You produced your own energy just by rubbing your hands. You can do this also with a 4-minute workout, by the way. Have you noticed how energizing that is? You can do this by swinging your arms. You can do this by singing and dancing. I'm going to talk more about that later, but all of it, this is just the coolest thing. How many pinkies up if you felt the energy from that? Pinkies up. Tell me what you felt about that. But what I want you to notice is that this little demonstration, it demonstrates your power of intention, your power and your capacity and capability to change things. It also helps to show that you can tune in, you can turn on, and you can create the level of life that you want. You can create the level of energy that you want in this life. This is put in there by God himself, y'all. This is not like ooga booga weirdo woo-woo stuff. I'm not taking you to the dark side. I'm not going into the new age whatever. I'm not doing any of that. I'm just showing you how, you are fearfully and wonderfully made, created creatively and energetically by the Creator himself, who loves you and wants to show you what you're capable of. You only understand your capacity when you can understand and feel your energy. So a quick caveat though, to optimize your energy, you got to be in alignment with what it is that you want. You can't be talking about something and then doing something else, That would be like me in the in the drive-through lane at McDonald's ordering a Big Mac and doing my Sprint webinar. Hello? Would that be just a little bit out of alignment? You might think so. So we have to look at this, because our exact alignment assignment and the exact thing that creates energy is living in agreement with the things that it is that you want, and living in agreement by doing the things that creates more and more energy. It's unbelievable. It really is unbelievable. So remember that like magnets attract, they can also repel. That's exactly what this whole lesson is about. We can feel that energy when we're holding our hands like this. We could also feel them repelling a little bit, but if we did this, we would feel incredible alignment. Or we put our hands in prayer, put it to our heart. That's how I end every one of my meditations. And it's just, that's it. There's this plumb line that goes right there to God. And you just feel the feels. Go ahead and feel it. It's a marvelous, wonderful thing put there by God himself. So how do we create this high vibe stuff? Because all this week we're going to be talking about it. I've got, tomorrow we're going to look at the shift to transform our energy. On Wednesday, we're going to harness it to optimize it. And on Thursday, we're going to get real deep into the fueling it, because there's a lot of ways to fuel it. But energy is everything. Absolutely 100% everything. So here's the number one, the first thing that we have to start doing, and that is gratitude. Now, if you have a Take Back Your Life journal, anyone? If you have a Take Back Your Life journal, you'll notice in every single daily page, the first thing that you're doing, the first 3 things, is a gratitude, because we're shifting our focus and we're putting our eyes on things to be grateful for. Whether it's something as like, my favorite pen was back in my cup today. How did that happen? Or I turned on the hot water and had a glorious shower this morning. What about reveling in things that we usually just take for granted and create the gratitude for them instead? That's high vibe. And number 2 is to focus on the things that you want, not the things that you don't want. I mean, I've said this maybe a million times, but that's what we normally do, is we focus on those very things that we don't want. That's where our focus goes. That's where the conversation goes. That's where our litany of complaints go, into that. And I'll tell you, we only have so much energy. And after that, there's nothing left to give out. So if your energy is all in that negativity, you're not going to get the things that you want, and you're not going to be feeling very high vibe either. It's the truth. So I can't emphasize that enough. And I will tell you that I have a picture of me speaking. I think I know it's on my Facebook page, my personal Facebook page, in the photos, but it's also in the Sprint group. And there's a picture of me. You know what? I might even, hold on. I actually have it right here, I think. Oh, here it is. Yeah. But I have a picture of me with, it's like a before and after, right? But even though it's a before and after, before my big weight loss, the point that was so important about this whole thing is that what I put for the caption, it was everything changed when I did. And I went from low vibe to high vibe. And I will tell you, this is the picture that I'm talking about. If you can see it, can you see my tummy? Looks like I got a little something in there. It's just me. And then my after, I had something sleeveless on, and it was kind of this tangerine color, peach color. I wore all black to hide. I wore all black because I didn't know what to do. And I remember I was in a Talbot. I went to Talbot's because they had a plus sized area there. And Caroline and I went in there, and I just remember crying in that dressing room and just being, just like, I look like crap. I can't speak. Nobody's going to want to hear me, nothing. And just super low vibe. And it's interesting that I would choose to look like I was, mourning, but head to toe, right here, black, everything black. And it's no fun living like that. it's no fun being in that low vibe place. It's no fun not loving your body or loving your container. It's no fun when you're wanting to shrink and hide. And that's what happens when we are focusing on the things that we don't want. Every day I woke up and beat myself up for not being the way I thought I should be. Every day I faced myself in the mirror and said, I was a hypocrite and I was a loser and I was, a fat nutritionist, and how helpful is that? But everything changed when my focus changed. My focus changed on I just want to feel good because I felt so bad. When you start feeling bad, you stop worrying about what you look like and more about how you feel. And it shows up in what you look like too. So isn't it funny how all these things go hand in hand? Number 3 is that we have to look for love. Look for love. What a thing. And I'm not talking about y'all, especially y'all married women. I'm not talking about you going out there and looking for love in all the wrong places. I'm talking about looking for love anywhere you can find it. Look for love in the cashier at the grocery store. Look for love in the way that you greet people and the way that you are. Look for love in the way that you can just show up and be your very best for everyone involved. Mr. Rogers used to say, you remember this? He used to say, look for the helpers. When there was a catastrophe, when there was something terrible happening and children have questions, instead of shushing them and saying, oh, it's nothing, honey, nothing for you to worry about, we need to show them that there's a way that we can look for love even in the most dire of straits, right? Right now, people are going to Airbnb and leasing places in Ukraine so that they can help out the Ukrainians and they can get their money. And the Airbnb people are waiving all the Ukrainian fees. So it's going all to the Ukrainians who need this money to escape their country as it's being bombed to death. There's a way to work in love, and there's a way to operate in love as well. That's all I'm saying about this. Look for love and choose it every time. It will never do you wrong. Number 4 is breathe, sleep, meditate, hydrate, eat high vibe food. We're going to be talking about that in depth tonight because all of this is how we move the needle in the energy in our lives. We get focused and think, oh, I just want to put those jeans back on or whatever. Okay, sure. But guess what? Behind all of that, there's so much more. There is so much more. And for a lot of us, we get to the place where we don't care about those jeans anymore. We care about how we feel. I want to wake up feeling good in my body. I don't get to change it out. Either do you. So let's do the best that we can and vibe as high as we can. Number 5 is have fun and move. Let me tell you about Saturday night. Okay. we have some friends here in Mark plays. It's one of his many pickleball players, Lucio and his wife Sabelle, who is a life coach, and I just absolutely adore. We immediately hit it off, and we were at their house, and they had a bunch of other couples there, and they have a smallish kind of a place and everything, and they said they're Brazilian, and they said we're going to do Brazil food. I said it's we were talking about Mardi Gras or whatever, and they said it's past, and they said not in Brazil. And so they made this Brazilian feast. And he said, and then we're all going to dance, and here we all are going like, we're going to dance. They turned on the music, the Brazilian music, and we learned a little samba stuff and started dancing around. And then the music just kept going, and we had some disco stuff, and they have this small little place, and we were just going right around. They moved everything around, so dancing and sambaing around the coffee. We were sweating bullets. But did we have a great time? The vibe was so high. And I'm going to tell you, we took a group of people who were all acquaintances. We were all friends, exchanging phone numbers. And this group of women that I met, this one gal there is an acupuncturist and has a practice right here in Brevard. The other one's a life coach that I told you about. This other one, there's like 3 of them. There's like 5 of us now. We're going to start meeting for lunch. This high vibe women, this is a high vibe tribe. I get to meet and be with these women because of this. Otherwise, we would have done, what do you normally do? Maybe you play a little game, or maybe you sit around and talk after dinner. But dancing and moving and vibing like this created friendships. Angie says that's what Brazil does for you because she lived there for 18 years. I believe it, Angie. It was and it was so fun, and we were laughing. It was just way up there. It was incredible. So I want to leave you with this. And I know we had an interruption here and I got started a little bit late. My apologies for all of this, but listen to me here. Take this with you. Awareness is the seed. Intention waters it. Affirmations feed it. And energetic, I can't even say it. This isn't how we do energetic matchmaking. It is. We put the energy out and we get the energy back. That's the attraction right there. It starts to come back. That Saturday night, you should have felt the vibe in that room. You would have gotten right in there and you would have danced your bottom off. I promise you. Repetition is what roots this whole thing, though, because high vibes are created by the creation. Got me? You get to manifest that daily, too, in everything that you do. Start here now. Be aware. What am I about? How am I going to vibe today? Got it? And you want that again? It's going to be in this. Listen, everything that we say, this is all written down and it's going to be in the show notes for tomorrow. So if you're not getting our show notes, go to savingdinner.com and get the newsletter. There's a little pop-up, just fill it out and it'll come to you and you will get it tomorrow morning. But it's awareness is the seed, intention waters it, affirmations feed it, because this is energetic matchmaking, right? Repetition is the thing that roots it. Repetition is the thing that roots it. Shampoo, rinse, repeat. Let's do it again. Cool? I hope you liked that. I liked it. I liked it. And if you did too, I like that you liked it. So thank you again for joining me today. Thank you again for being part of Casino. And let's do it again tomorrow. We'll be here same time, 1 p.m. Eastern. I'll see you then. Peace be with you.
Thank you for joining me today. You can find me on TikTok for daily tips to help support your most vibrant life. And remember, you are the author of your own story. Until next time.